Hi everybody, this is Jazz aka Trend Trader for you, and here I am once again doing SPY weekly analysis. We're looking at the weekly chart on the right and the daily chart on the left. So let's look at the weekly chart, then we'll go into the daily chart. We talked about last week how we're seeing a little bit of weakness in the weekly chart by putting this lower high in the weekly chart, and also we talked about how this low was important to maintain or to be kept, and obviously this low was broken, the candlestick went down, the price action went down, broke that low, put in a lower low in here. But however, what I'm seeing in here is a high volume reversal, somewhat of a reversal candlestick, and we'll analyze that into the daily chart. But it all depends on, like we always talk about, candle by candle, day by day, right? So this weekly candle is a bullish candle to me right now. We have the fairly good enough volume down here with the bullish pressure coming from the bulls, of course, and also we had a nice move to the downside for the whole week. So if you were to break this down in a daily chart, you'll see how we have many continuous days of a selling pressure, and finally last week, most likely Thursday or Friday, the whole market just bounced up significantly, and putting somewhat of a reversal candle in here. You can not exactly a hammer, maybe a piercing candle you could say, but there is, if you were to call a technical term to it, there is no technical term to it. Okay, it's just a green candle putting a lower low, and possibly we'll have to see if it has a strength to go to the upside, even possibly test this, come to test this trend line, or even reverses and do some kind of a 50 to 61.8 retracement in it. We'll just have to see if that works out. So looking at the daily chart on this side, we did test the 200-day SMA. Okay, usually your 200-day SMA is one of the biggie simple moving averages. The big institutions look at it very carefully. Price came down very close to it this time, bounced up, right? Price is coming back to it, and um, I apply analogy of a very simple analogy, uh, touching the hot stove, right? If you're touching a really hot stove with fire blazing, you are going to get your hand off of it right away, right? You can't basically touch the hot stove and keep your hand on it. Demand works the same way. When the orders are sitting in there, price comes there, the price needs to shoot up very fast, very quickly, and which your 200-day SMA could act as also somewhat of a support on your left too. Not going to go into the detail because that is exactly what I do as far as when I teach one-on-one clients, and we are seeing that this is not so much of a hot stove. Okay, price needed to come down here, test the SMA, and shoot up from here. It's actually putting somewhat of a bearish pattern in here, right? Basing in here, possible could break below around this support area and even go down to test this, which will also give you a measure move of this head and shoulder that you're seeing that we talked about last week. If you need to look at that or listen to that previous analysis, I had put it up on my YouTube as well as the Facebook group, so you can definitely check it out. So what I'm expecting from here on is to let the price prove it to me, right? If you go in here, I want the price to ideally, okay, would like to see price to move above right around this area to retest, right? Price to move up, possibly even close above this area where this blue rectangle is, close up and see somewhat of a move to the upside. Okay, again, we talked about in the daily how there's a trend line from the daily coming in, but also at the same time there's a resistance within the smaller time frame. If you were to go into the hourly or 30-minute, you'll probably see some of the resistance around here to 1055, or I haven't mapped it out exactly, but this is where more likely you're going to see some kind of resistance in here. And that's if we have a move to the upside, price able to close above here. If not, and price just kind of triggers around, travels around here, possibly we're gonna see another leg to the downside. Okay, a couple scenarios can happen. Okay, this is what I'm expecting. Price goes up. Okay, price goes up, till there's a reversal. Okay, price is gonna keep going up. If there's a reversal, possibly price comes down in here again. Okay, puts maybe a lower, another lower high in here, price another lower high, possibly goes to the downside. Okay, and come to test this area. That's somewhat I'm expecting, but again, it all depends on how the price is going to act every single day. Okay, this is just speculation, pure speculation, but you want to be ready for what you're speculating. Okay, if this happens, I'm going to do this. If price goes up, this is what I'm going to look for, these kind of setups. If price goes down, the setups I'm going to look for to the short side. You don't have to just trade the stock. If just trade the SPY, you can trade the other stocks that are out there. And also price is definitely hanging around, like I said, around 200 SMA. Price is below 20, price is below 50, and these both SMAs are to the downside. You can call them declining SMAs, rising SMAs, whatever you want to call. These were prices around here. They were their SMAs were rising, so price kept on rising. Now there's a change of polarity or change of the trend that I'm seeing in here. We talked about it, right? Again, not gonna go into the detail of the trend analysis, but what we're seeing in here is somewhat definitely a bearish side of it in the daily chart. In a weekly, it needs to prove a little bit more. Okay, needs to prove a little bit more, especially needs to break out this area before we can definitely say we're in a downtrend. But there is a weakness in here. There were definitely short setups that were lined up, and as well as there were long setups that were lined up based on the intraday setups. You can go again, you can go down into 30-minute. There are a lot of setups that you can see that will give you to the long side, right? You can actually even go down to the 5-minute or 3-minute, and there's one setup that I can it comes right off of it, which is the area right around here. Price came down, break above here, and that's your long. Then there's another setup in here, then there's a possible another setup was here which didn't work out, and obviously I don't see actually a short setup in here. Rather, I would see a more of a long setup because the price actually gapped up that day. So I would be looking for long setups unless there is a significantly bearish pressure coming in, which would call for a low for the short side setup. And again, it's the whole model of this. For instance, this one there would have been a short setup around this in this whole day's trend. But the whole process when you're taking a trade, you have to answer a few questions. Okay, did price gap up, price gap down, what's the whole market doing, is it close to the support, is it close to the resistance, is there a candlestick reversal, or is even if you're looking at your indicators, or the indicators pointing to the downside, whatever indicates the indicators that you're looking. So that's it for this week's analysis, and we'll start all over again next week. And meanwhile, if you need to talk to me or anything like that, and just shoot me a message on the Facebook page, and I'll talk to you guys later, guys. Take care. Bye.